Hey everyone, I'm Alicia from A Music Blog, and I'd like to welcome you to our interview with Ryn Weaver.
Hello.
Hello. Thank you
Hi.
for taking the time to have a chat today.
Thank you for talking to me.
It is our pleasure. So you're currently in Toronto as part of Canadian Music Week, so how's Toronto treating you?
It's really cool. I've been doing a lot of work, so I haven't got to, I want to go to, is it Queen Street? King
Yep.
Street?
Queen Street.
Queen Street. I hear there's really good shopping there.
You're actually
So
playing there tonight.
I know, so before I play, I think I'm going to hit up some of the shops. But yeah, no, it's been really cool. The weather's great right now. And my family's from Canada. My grandmother was from Canada. But I didn't know the full geography. And so I told someone the other day, I'm like, oh, I feel like my grandma's from around here. And they're like, oh, yeah. I'm like, Winnipeg? They're like, not near here.
Not quite as
like,
close
that's
as you
all
might
I
think.
know. I'm sorry. But yeah.
Well, when you usually arrive in a new town, I know you mentioned you like shopping, but what are some other things that you like to just embark or
I
see
like
around?
asking people that I know. I like tweeting out sometimes and asking good restaurants.
Okay.
I'm a foodie, and to my, downfall, I suppose. I love food. So I like to ask that. And I don't like to do touristy things. So sometimes I just like to reach out to friends and be like, do you have anyone around here that you know that can kind of show me around to the cool spots, I guess, because when people come to New York, I never tell them to go to the Empire State Building. I'm like, come with me to this cool
place.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah.
You mentioned being a foodie there. Are there any specific snacks or meals that you look for at different restaurants?
I think I knew that the Indian food here was really good, right? So we asked one of the women here, what's one of the good ones that there's mostly Indian people there. I was like, I want real Indian food. And so we did that. And I know before I leave, I'm getting poutine.
Yes, that is my favorite dish, meal, whatever you want to call it. The best. Have you ever had it before?
No.
Oh, I highly advise.
It's not a thing where I've had disco fries, which are fries with gravy. Okay. So that's kind of them, but
you need the
very
cheese
different.
curds.
Exactly. So I'm excited.
Well, you're in Toronto now, but is there anywhere else that you just haven't played yet, but you would just love to go to?
Pretty much all of Europe. I've never been to Europe. I've been to London for 50 hours for I had to meet people in London. It was more like a work thing. But my parents told me that I could go abroad when I went to college. I dropped out of college, so I didn't go abroad. And so I'm getting my school of hard knocks abroad, I think, right? I'm going to be touring around and hopefully having some time. I've really wanted to go to Paris, Switzerland, Ireland, places my family are from. And I really want to go to Japan.
Amazing.
Yeah, Japan.
Well, being that CMW is pretty much kicking off festivals here in Toronto, it's the first one. Many more to come this year.
Osheaga.
Yeah, Montreal. It's going to be crazy.
Gonna be there.
If you could curate your own festival, who would you like to be part of that?
Oh, God. I was actually talking with my friend Molly about this the other day. And not to exclude any boys. I love boys. But because quite honestly, there's that Psych Fest that's in America that I would probably do something more like that, along the lines of that. But I'd love to do kind of a female folky, female singer-songwriter festival. I feel like there wouldn't be a lot of boys that came to it, but I feel like it would be this woman power kind of thing. And I think it'd be really cool.
Nice. Well, on the music front, it's a very exciting time for you because you're soon releasing your debut record.
Yeah.
I know. You must be really anxious.
I'm really
how's
anxious.
It going
I
for
wasn't
you
anxious. When I finished the record, I'm like, let's put it out. But you wait 4 months on a pre-order and you start getting anxious. Yeah. You're kind of just I've so many times been can we just leak it? Can we leak it? But no, that's not the game. So I got 1 more month, and I hope I hope it's good. I hope people like it. But I also don't. You know what I mean? It's if people don't like it, they don't like it. I like it, and I think that's all that really matters. If you're making music, I do make it for people, but I think music making is a very selfish art form because you have to be selfish and in your own humanity for people to be able to relate to the humanity. Do you know what I mean? To be able to relate to music, it can't be music where someone's like, oh, does this sound like a fun song to party to? It you want to relate to a song like a Joni song, The Last Time I Saw Richard, right? You want to hear these stories and then be like, I feel that. And if you don't feel it, at least be captivated by the storytelling enough to try and imagine it.
Absolutely. And I know that you actually worked with Michael from Passion Pit.
I did.
And I know in
him.
hie school, massive Passion Pit fan. What was that like for you?
Huge Passion Pit fan. Had the biggest crush on him too. So that was like hard to get over in the beginning. I was like hanging out with him and we were making music and I'm just like, yeah. And you know, he's married and I was like, it's chill. But you're just like, he's so cute. But you know, it's crazy because he's, you know, a lot of musicians, you know, and he's very open about, you know, his struggles with mental stuff. And I think we all, on one level or another, humans have it rough, right? And I've had depression my whole life, and so we relate on a lot of fronts. And his music helped me through a lot of that, which is so cool. You know, like I was senior in high school, I was like going through a breakup. And it was a really rough one. It was like my first love, you know, the ones like where we bought each other promise rings and we were like, never forget, that kind of thing, like weird romance that only exists like before you're out of the house. But yeah, and so his music was just like the anthem to my senior year, which is such a integral year. I think like it's so important, like to your whole humanity, like your makeup. So it was a life-changing experience, I guess, like meeting him and also like meeting your people that have influenced you and that you love and having them appreciate what you do.
Absolutely.
And saying, oh, I love this song, and like, wow, that's a really good, you're just like, it is, thank you so much.
Well, I just wanted to let you know that the songs that you've released on the record so far are great. I know you just put out a video for The Fool, which is very trippy but awesome.
It's
in the same
trippy,
way.
it's fun, it's kind of feminist, but it's also, it just kind of plays with like a power dynamic, I think. And I love, do you know Studio Ghibli?
No, I don't.
It's like, have you seen Spirited Away?
No.
Kiki's Delivery Service?
No.
Princess Mononoke?
Nope.
Howl's Moving Castle?
No.
None of them.
No, I have no idea.
My Totoro? You've never seen Totoro? Okay, look these up later. But it's kind of like, I wanted to achieve this kind of I love, it's like very artful anime. And it's like kind of fantasy while still being like really realistic. And so we were kind of going for that sort of, I wanted it to be trippy, but I wanted it to be rooted in like something that felt very, you know, like tragic and true and related to kind of like a relationship dynamic. Yeah. So I think I pulled it off.
Definitely.
Who knows? All I can do is try.
It's obvious to see how excited you are to share this music with everyone. So I was curious the starting point, because I can really relate to some of the things I've read about you since I started my site when I was 17, didn't go to university, kind of just pursuing a passion. So for you, what was that initial spark where you're like, you know what, this is what I want to do?
Oh, I think it's always been like, and this is a funny thing, but one of the first influences on that level was Britney Spears, because I'm from that era, and and Spice Girls, and I thought that it was so cool to be able to be on stage, and I loved watching their shows.
My first concert at 3 years old was Spice Girls, so I totally get you.
Yes,
I totally
exactly.
Get you.
It was just, and we're just from that era, you know, of like the weird 90s, 2000s pop star, and I think as I got older, I strayed more from pop, so it's funny that I feel like my music isn't necessarily in my mind pop, but I think because I've grown up with that also, you know, as in my background, I think it just kind of comes out that way, pop sensibility. But no, I've always known I wanted to do it. I told my mom I wanted to do it, and she's like, I don't know how to help you. So she like just threw me into theater. She's like, just do theater with the kids. You're gonna love it. Youth theater, which I loved. But no, I've just always known that's what I wanted to do, and I actually wasn't gonna go to college. I was gonna just do music. But my parents were like, you have to pick a school. And so I figured New York was the best place to be. I went to theater school, but I wasn't trying to do theater. The first week I was there, I was like going out to clubs and being like with my fake ID and being like, hey, like I'm trying to start a band. Like, and that's like kind of where I was living on the music floor in my dorm. And my plan was to start a band and then drop out of school. But I was so busy with theater school that I didn't have time to do music. So I ended up dropping out after second year. Anyways, but yeah, no, I've just always it's always been, you know, and I feel like to want to do this, you have to like have very unrealistic expectations of the world. You have to be like, I know what I want and I don't care what you say, because I'm going to do it.
That's the exact mentality you have to have going into it.
You have to have a rebel. You got to be like, oh yeah, Say it again. And you have to like I'm one of those people that like keeps a tally. Like I love when people tell me no. I love when people say, I don't know, or they doubt me.
It gives you that drive.
Etch it into my heart, and I'm like, and then they see you again, and they're like, oh hey, and you're like, hi.
I absolutely love what you're saying right now. Yeah. I can completely
like so many people, and people that like, you know, and also because I've kept a slight tally as well. Not like, and I don't hold it against them, but it's definitely there. An elephant never forgets. I'm not an elephant, but you know when I don't know. Anyways, I digress. When you meet people and you're not big yet, or they don't really, you know, you have no pull. There's no anything, and you're meeting people in the music scene, and they just shade you. They're like, oh, you obviously can't do anything for me. And I like kept those people in my heart too. So now they see me and they're like, hey,
want to do something?
I'm like, oh,
you again.
Nice to see you. Sorry, I sound like such a bitter bitch. I'm not. It's just like, I think that gives you drive.
Absolutely.
People telling me I can't, and maybe that's just like my rebel spirit, right? I'm like, yes. Say it again. Say it again. Thank you. Masochism or something. I don't know.
Well, to wrap things up here, just as an emerging artist, what would you say is the geek out moment you've had in your career, or just one of those highlights that sticks out to you that you...
Geek out?
Geek out moments.
I like that. Geek out moment. Let me think. There's like probably a bunch. But geek out moment was meeting Gwen Stefani.
Wow.
And she told me she loved my song. And I did some writing for her, and I just got to hang out with her. She invited me to her child's birthday party, and I was like, and I was there, and like she has all these really cool friends.
Was it Bananas?
It was Bananas, Bananas. But yeah, no, it's just meeting people that you've always loved and seeing that they're real people, and like hearing things about them and their quirks, you know, because you always hold people. I feel like you hold celebrities to this like
high regard,
high thing, but you still actually, to me, it's like I hold them to a higher regard once I meet them, and you hear them say something funny that's kind of awkward, and it humanizes them, but it makes you like, oh, I love you so much more. I love you so much more. So that's been all the geek out moments have been me just like meeting people, like hanging out with Charlie and just saying what a cool down to earth chick she is. All of that. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. I just want to say congrats on everything.
Thank
and really
you.
wish you the best with this debut record.
Thank you.
And thank you for your time today.
Thank you for your time.
Our pleasure. And remember, for everybody at home, you can visit us at www.amusicblogya.com for all exclusive interviews and features with your favorite artists. Bye.
Bye.